Thinking.
I am. I'm thinking we're out of the movie business. Run!
Is that a fact? Our 10 to 4 on Friday investigates the legend of the Lambton worm. So there. And something pretty exciting happening after Newsround this afternoon on Children's BBC. We will be doing a live link-up with Harry Tablefood from Tomorrow's World. He'll be speaking to us live in here. More details a little bit later on, but now he's got the gloves on because it's the Really Wild Show.
Well, it's slime time again, and we really are up to our eyes on it. On... Oh, did that well, didn't they?
I think my eardrums are ever going to be the same after that. We're going to be rolling out our slimy swamp a bit later on for another edition of On the Spot. But this muddy tank is here for quite a different reason, because we've got some real uglies in the studio today. No, the ones I'm talking about are down here. I think they're a lot better than Chris and Terry, actually. These are pot-bellied pigs from Vietnam, where they forage in the jungles. And they're here because Hannah Judd and Mark Carpenter wanted to know more about them.
Right, OK. Mark and Hannah have been really looking forward to it. Squat down with me here and we'll get close to them. Now, why do you like pigs so much?
Because they're my favourite animals.
Yeah. What about you, Hannah?
I just like them.
You just like them? Right, OK. Well, that one there is about a year old, and they weigh about up 50 kilos when they're fully grown, and this one here is about 5 months old. Now, you have been looking forward to going in there, haven't you?
Yeah.
And it's really muddy in there. Do you think they ought to go in?
Yeah!
Right, then, in you go, and you can get really close and feed them. Go on. That's it. Go quietly. Go nice and quietly. And there's lots of food here. Get down. Get right close down. That's it. There you are. Get that pig over there. Look, there we are. Give them some apples. A nice big... Lots of food there. That's it. Isn't that super? Do you think they make nice noises?
Yep.
Yeah, someone over there does. Do you like pigs as well? Why don't you come over and say hello? Just you on your own. Come on in. Not over that way. You'll get your feet soaking wet. Come around this way. That's it. Now, why do you like pigs? Hey? Why do you like pigs?
I just do.
You just do? Have you ever been this close to a pig before?
No.
No? Ah. So what do you want to say about them?
They're nice.
They're nice.
Now, believe it or not, nobody actually knows why pot-bellied pigs are pot-bellied. We know they've got a layer of fat all over their body, which they use as an energy store. But we think it's just because they have an enlarged liver, and that gives them their, well, how can I say, less than elegant shape.
And in the wild, they spend most of their day actually rooting around, feeding on berries and nuts. And they do like worms as well if they come across them, and they rely on their nose a tremendous amount because they've got a very, very good sense of smell.
Aren't they quite the nicest pigs I've ever seen? Well, pot-bellies, just like all pigs, love mud. And there's a very good reason for that, because they use it to keep cool. They lose heat by rolling in the mud, which forms a layer over their skin. Gradually, the water in the mud evaporates and takes the heat with it. Once the mud's dry, it just drops off, and very conveniently, it takes any skin parasites or dead skin with it. So it's acting just like a really expensive mud pack. Chameleons are certainly some of the strangest animals around. It's not just their exploding tongues and their swivelling eyes, it's their stunning ability to change colour. Now, these are all Fisher's chameleons from Africa, and like all chameleons, they have tiny colour cells in their skin, and by expanding or contracting those, they can change the overall colour of their bodies and blend in with their background, so their camouflage is always perfect. Of course, there are lots of different animals that can change colour, And Sorrel Holmes wrote to us wanting to know how animals change their colours in winter.
We see the most dramatic colour changes in those animals which live near the poles. Now, that's not surprising because for several months of the year, the whole area is turned white with snow. And you can see immediately that would be a big disadvantage for these chaps. These are Siberian dwarf hamsters, and they make a tasty snack for any owls and foxes. So the last thing they want to do is be visible. But the hamsters get over that because they detect the beginning of winter by the shortening day length. And they do that not only using their eyes, but by using a tiny, tiny little gland at the base of the brain called the pineal gland. Now, normally, there are cells which secrete a pigment which is pushed up into the hair to make them that browny-grey colour. But once the pineal comes into action, here we are, if you can take that, it stops any more secretion and it makes the hairs go white, and all the old hairs are actually pushed out. So the hamsters in here, you can see, have gone much whiter.
So, unlike you, Chris, there are some animals that have naturally white hair.
Cheeky old...
Now, we humans have many different colours. We have brown hair, black hair, blue eyes, brown eyes, and it's only when you go mad with the peroxide can that you can actually change it. Now, there's some animals that actually change their colour naturally, just for display. Now, in here are two paradise whiters from East Africa, and they're going through phases of change. Now, their normal plumage is rather drab and dull, and that blends in with the trees around them. And that's just as well, actually, because like the hamster, they have many predators. But when breeding season approaches, they respond to that by instructing feather follicles to produce a different type of feather. And it's that black one there on the one with the full plumage. And within a month, the other bird will look just like that. It will have a lovely colourful breast and a very long tail. And what's really clever is that the change happens like a wave from the body outwards to the wings. And so it's always got plenty of feathers to be able to fly.
You don't need to worry about flying when you change colour, do you? Well, whether a colour change takes just a few seconds or a whole month, there's always a good reason for changing colour, and lots of different ways of doing it. And here are some more.
Changes. Don't tell them to grow up out of it. Changes. Changes. Where's your shame? You've left us up to her accident. Time may change me. You can't twist time. Strange fascination fascinating me. Our changes are taking the base I'm going through. Changes. And face the strange. Changes. Oh, look out, you rock and rollers. Changes. And face the strange. Changes. Pretty soon now you're gonna get older. Time may change me, but I can't trace time.
Meanwhile, in downtown Botham City,
Hey, Birdwoman, my career as a superhero is over. Last Friday I saved the world, and now I can't fly at all.
Look, don't give up, Supertel. I'm sure there's some way you can get your superpowers back. Try flapping your arms. It works for me.
Flapping? Am I rising? Am I rising?
No.
Oh.
Look, we got a real problem here. Your arms just ain't up to it. Look at my wings. They're really well designed, right? Lots of overlapping feathers to form a strong, flexible sheet to catch the air, right?
My hypersensitive vision shows that each feather barb latches together, even at microscopic level. That's very impressive, Birdwoman.
Yeah. Well, there's only one person who could help you, you know.
Who?
To the rescue!
Chiroptera man, you're so quick.
Faster than a speeding bat, fellow superheroes.
I hope you can help, old buddy. I've lost my power of flight.
Holy bald patches! But it's so simple. My wings are made of super bat skin stretched from my second finger to my leg, and I can steer by moving my other fingers. Sure, I have to flap hyperfast, but I'm mega maneuverable, and I don't need great big chest muscles like Birdwoman's.
But I'm reduced to being a human, and things are a lot tougher. No matter what I do, my wings won't work. I'll show you the problem. I'm much heavier than you two, so I've got more muscle. And the power it generates looks like that. But I need a lot more lift to get airborne. And it's only animals that weigh less than 12 kilos that can fly normally. Unless I get my special powers back, I'm stuck like this.
I've got it.
I knew you could help.
A Botham City bus pass. Time to trade in your underpants, Supertel.
Right, you all ready for on the spot? Yeah! Okay, your job on this side is to keep Chris out of the grunge, right? And your job on this side is to keep Terry out of the grunge.
Yeah.
Right, true or false, the elephant has got the biggest nose in the world. True or false? Yeah, afraid so. You're saved again, Nutkins. Right, all right, you lot. Gorillas build nests.
True.
I'm afraid you're saying false, and it's true, because they build big beds of vegetation. Now then, you've got to look at the picture on the monitor and listen to the sound and tell me if it's true or false that that sound matches the picture. You ready? Oh, I'm afraid that was the sound of a frog. So, you're going to have to be dropped. You saw a frog. Right, same again for you lot. You've got to look at the picture and listen to the sound and tell me true or false, do they match? You're reprieved again.
Yes.
Mr. Packham. All right, you ready? Now listen. Another true or false question. Ostriches lay the biggest eggs. True or false? That's quite right, because Egyptian vultures have to use rocks to break them. Okay, ready? Squirrels use their tails as fur coats. You got over there are quite right, it is true, because they wrap their tails around their bodies. But this lot here was saying false. Down you go, Chris! Yeah! It's the tie break. So down you go, Tell. Down one. This is where you two have to answer a question, true or false.
Oh, no.
And no help from your teams, all right? Are you ready? Very close.
No, I'm not, no.
Where would you find the world's biggest earthworm? What country?
Australia.
Wrong! 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 You know where the world's largest earthworm comes from, Chris?
Where does it come from?
Actually, it's South Africa.
I knew it was hot.
Never mind. I've always said that green was his colour.
Good afternoon. Today we feature champion animal swimmers. From leaping salmon to the world's fastest underwater snake, the yellow-bellied sea snake, here speeding through the coral. Whilst in the pond, a small but very powerful freestyle rower, the water boatman. Slow on land, penguins are the fastest swimming birds at up to 17 miles an hour. And of course, the world's fastest marine mammals, the killer whale. At the poolside, Terry Nutkins.
I'm here by the poolside to witness a race between two top-class swimmers, Andy Jameson, British Olympic medalist, and Harry the sea lion. Andy, what do you have to do to keep yourself in tip-top swimming condition?
Well, I do about 4 hours a day in the pool, an hour in the weight room, and then running, cycling, anything to keep my body working. It's really quite difficult, quite hard work.
Andy, thank you very much, and the best of luck. Now, Harry the sea lion here really doesn't have to do that much because he's well adapted for swimming fast. He's got a very slim head and a very streamlined body, and also very powerful flippers. You know, he's really streaks ahead of any challenger. This should be quite some race.
It certainly should. Representing Great Britain, Andy Jameson, Olympic medalist. Warming up, while it certainly looks cold, he's Britain's best at about 1.9 metres. Just about the same size as this chap, Howie the Sea Lion, swimming for the big US of A. He's from the Californian West Coast and measures 1.8 metres. Here he is, a few last-minute tips from his trainer. He's looking very confident indeed this afternoon. And they're understarter's orders. Andy's got a superb start. Howie's slightly slow off the line. Andy's now powering down the pool, but the gap's closing. It's neck and neck, but Howie's looking stronger. He's in the lead, and he touches to win the race. A superb race from the Sea Lion. Looking very pleased and relaxed and picking up a well-deserved reward for an excellent swim. Let's take a look at an action replay so we can study the all-important technique. Now, Andy gets an excellent start, and Howie, if anything, looks to be in trouble. He's a trifle confused. He may not have even heard the gun. But just look at this entry, gaining a lot of speed with his strong underwater stroke. At this point, they're almost neck and neck, but Howie dips under again to make full use of his streamlined body and those powerful flipper strokes. Only about a body length between them now, but Howie's powering on, looking comfortable, cutting through the water and reaching for the finish. Andy finishing not that far behind in an excellent race against an outstanding competitor. But whilst he swims for sport, this champion sea lion is swimming for survival. Indeed, I think we can look forward to seeing a lot more of this Californian lad. Terry's at the poolside, commiserating with Andy.
Andy, a good swim and a very good contender. How did you find the race?
It was really good. I wanted to win. I'm a bit upset I didn't, because I like to win the races I swim in. But
Right.
He's got a great stroke. He's only 7 years old, so he's got a lot of potential, He could be good. But I think he's a natural.
And so we leave you, with the proud winner, Howie the Sea Lion, taking several laps of honour. A nautical athlete that completed this pool length in just 11 seconds and can reach a record speed of up to 25 miles an hour. Surely this swimmer shows all of the body adaptations, the breathing control and the water fitness of a true natural. Right, let's get on with a few quickies, and here's a really good one, because we've had an extraordinary letter from a chap called Peter Beckham, who's really worried about his grandmother, because she reckons that wombats are the cleverest animals in the world. Could this be true? Let's see. Wombats are mammalian marsupials that come from Australia, and whilst they're pretty good at eating and breathing, not bad at sleeping, and really quite good at burrowing, in the intelligence stakes, they could do better. I mean, would you stand behind someone digging a tunnel? A wombat would.
Do you know that the widest tree in Britain is a sweet chestnut that grows in the grounds of a school in Dorset? And it measures over 13 metres around its trunk. It started growing over 350 years ago. That's about the time of the Roundheads and Cavaliers. And that makes it older than all of us put together. Thanks. Right. That's 13 metres and 33 centimetres. But that's small compared with the world's widest tree, which is a Montezuma cypress from Mexico and measures 36 metres around its trunk.
Why do animals yawn?
Now, that's an absolutely brilliant question, because nobody really knows.
All animals yawn in the same way. They open their mouths wide, stretch their jaws, and breathe in. And maybe that's what it's all about, getting an extra blast of oxygen into the lungs. One thing's for sure, all mammals do it, and it's incredibly infectious. If I yawn, I bet you'll all start yawning sooner or later.
Yawning is a response to tiredness, so it's important that all social animals do it all the time, and then they're able to sleep at the same time. The whole yawning reflex is controlled by a centre in the brain. Now, we can't control it because we actually do it without thinking.
ladies and gentlemen, for your surprise and delight, the amazing Tero, with his dangerous, death-defying performance of Sticking to the Ceiling.
Trick photography. Call yourself amazing?
All right, clever clocks, you show me something better.
No problem, mate. When it comes to living on the ceiling or driving yourself up the wall, we couldn't find a better candidate than this. This is a tokay gecko from Southeast Asia. It's about 20 centimetres long and it weighs probably nearly 100 grams, and yet it's supporting itself wholly on the side of that glass there. That really is quite amazing. Now, has anybody got any idea at all how he does it? Sucks pieces of skin. Getting close, because if you look very closely at his feet, you can see there's some ridges there, little pads of skin, and those are covered with thousands and thousands of tiny little hooked bristles which fix into any scratches on the glass. And what's more, it can even retract those, rather like a cat retracts its claws, and then fold back its toes so that it can walk across the glass. In fact, it can even run across ceilings, which for my money is 100 times better than the so-called amazing Tero.
There's a lot more to gripping than what you've got on your feet. You have to have the right sort of muscles. Now, in this tree is an expert at keeping a grip on things. It's a slow loris from the forests of Southeast Asia. It's a nocturnal primate. And it has a very, very wide grasp and extremely flexible ankle and wrist joints. Now, this animal can hang by its back legs and then reach out with its front legs for food. Now, a slow loris like this could upstage the great Tero really, really easily because they can stay hanging upside down for hours and hours on end. And that's because they have a special blood supply that stops the muscles in their legs getting tired. Now, slow lorises have another charming little habit. They wee on their hands and feet. Now, I know it sounds peculiar, but it really is quite a good idea because it helps to scent mark the trees where they live, and also it helps to give them a better grip.
Didn't like that much, did we? No, well, we've got a lot of things to improve the act. Stick your hands in that there. That's it. Right the way in. And then stick it onto that perspex there. God, it grips really hard, doesn't it? You two have a go now. Now, oils are used by lots and lots of small animals because they form a very thin and very sticky layer, which actually separates the ground from the animal. This is a beetle called Hemispherota that can clamp itself down onto a leaf using oil droplets on its feet. It can resist a pull of 300 times its own body weight, easily enough to protect it from scavenging ants. It's hanging on for dear life.
Of course, you don't need hands and feet to be a hanger-on. These lampreys can do it with a nasty suck. They're primitive fish, and instead of jaws, they have a round sucker. And they use it for moving about pebbles when they're making a nest. Yes, lampreys make nests. And also for feeding. Now, you can see on these ones stuck on the glass. Can you see that one around the side stuck on the glass there? How that sucker works. There's a round edge to it, and inside the round edge you can see all those little teeth and a mouth in the centre. And lampreys are parasites on other types of fish. They stick onto the side with their sucker, and they rasp away with those sharp little teeth and suck the blood and flesh in through their mouths, and then they drop off and leave a nasty round scar.
These suckers are really great. They're really holding my weight. They're fantastic. Hello, Chris.
Hello there, Terry.
They're marvellous, these.
Yes, they certainly are. I can see you're learning a lot from these animals. But, you know, you're still a sucker for punishment.
What's that? Well, suckers do seem to be the answer. And this octopus here has the best in the business. Its 8 arms are absolutely covered with suckers, literally hundreds of them. And they're all under individual muscle control. Now, they're not just used for gripping. They actually are very sensitive, and they can actually taste things, and they can feel textures. Now, I suppose you might call them extended arms because they use them for catching prey. And let's just see what happens here with this piece of prawn. There you go. Now, look at that. It's actually caught it, got it in its mouth, and it's eaten it. Very successful. That's fantastic. Now, there are some giant squid that have suckers that are 13 centimetres across, and that's very big.
That is amazing, Tero.
It's amazing, Chriso, and it's given me some good ideas.
I want to feed the octopus now. Come on. Let's put one more little bit in, see if you'll take it. Whee!
And he's got another piece. What a hungry devil. I'll tell you what, then, we better go. Look, it's given Terry ideas way above his station.
Dear.
We better go.
I think we better head. Bye-bye.
I don't have to be here. This is stupid.
Ben? Well, look, that is a cough you've got there. It's not a singing voice.
All there, Stephen. Everything in order?
I should hope so. Pretty lethal stuff in the wrong hands.
He's upset about his dog.
Dog? You got a dog?
The Country Boy returns tomorrow at 5:10 on Children's BBC. Stick around for details of how you can help tomorrow's world with an exciting experiment this evening. Details will follow Newsround, which is presented today by Helen Rollison.
Protests against hair coursing. Animal lovers have got MPs on their side. Hello again. Hair coursing is cruel